anything to doctor these guys up, and these are so full of fat, and that's what you're lacking by day 4 is usually is fat. So coconut oil, the olive oil from off of these guys, this I think I got in water. I don't know what I was thinking. It should be olive oil, and it's because you desperately by that time are needing calories, you're needing fat in your diet. So I also have these little packets of the tuna fish, which are really good for making a sandwich. I also have crackers, and I left the big jar of peanut butter at home because I didn't want to have to carry it. Now these little guys, here's the crackers and beans. They're great. And everything I have has got a flip top on it because I don't want to be messing with a can opener because it takes up too much room. So cocoa. I also have, and granola. I didn't bring the granola because somebody ate it. So it's gone, and I will replace it. You can also use the packets of oatmeal that you add water to, hot water. And you may not have hot water. We use Extension. We use those little butane burners, and they're just one burner and one canister of butane. And we do even canning on that, and it's hot enough to get through one, say the steam canner, plenty of time, plenty of fuel to get through. Say if we're doing jam, tomatoes, something that like that. So I would. So for beverages, you're going to get so bored. So I have, I think it's Crystal Light, cranberry something or other. Yes, it is. But I also have the emergency C packets just in case. I also have the electrolytes. This, because sometimes you're just beginning to feel really puny, and these are just little packets that you pour into water, and they have the electrolytes, and they will make you feel better. So they say. Usually they do. I always carry hand sanitizer. And these are treats then when you buy granola or trail mix, and they're even better if they have chocolate chips in them. But these are pretty good. And of course, lifesavers. And I can't believe myself. I've had these for probably 10 years in the same bag, and I have left them alone. Unfortunately, somebody got in and ate the chocolate, so I don't have that. I carry tea bags. Oh yeah, and these little, what do you call these things? Tic Tacs. Yeah, and I have tea bags and I have instant coffee. Hopefully, I'll have some sort of hot water, and I love these cups and this sort of granite ware. You can go to St. Vinny's and oftentimes pick them up for $1. Otherwise, you go to like Weimar and they're going to be $5 or $6. So. Also, if you, in your bigger bag, you want to include more variety, and I'm going to take one of these guys, which is a little container with little tiny, if I can get it open, little tiny vials in there, like so. You can see a whole bunch of them. Because if I were cooking rice or noodles, I'm going to be so bored with that. But I can put spices in this, and I love white pepper, soy sauce, paprika.
Where did you get
you name
that?
it.
Where did you get that?
I don't know. I think it was my mother's. I've never used it, but
yeah.
I thought this is exactly what I need for something interesting to add to this rice, the instant rice, the freeze-dried rice, because it's going to be boring. Another thing these little packets that you get at any grocery store, these are good. They're not great, but they're refreshing when you've been on a diet of boring food for a while. Also, the snack bars. I don't love these, but Bob's Red Mill puts out 2 different kinds. One's oats and jam, I think. The other one is chocolate oats or something like that. And both of them are edible. And in my travels, I have taken all kinds of protein bars, and I found that the higher the amount of protein in it, the yuckier the bar is. It has a off taste to it. So, and then today at our table, some of you got this. It's it's in there someplace. It's a bag with, it has the straw in it and also has a bamboo fork and spoon. So you're pretty well set. Okay. So let's talk about the equipment that you would need. And the sky's the limit. You can have all kinds of stuff, which I do. And I only brought part of it today because I've been caught in emergencies before and I've had to use this. And so one of the emergencies people have is they take off from, say, Eugene, they're going to the coast in the winter time and they're using GPS, and they end up someplace BF Egypt land, and they're no place near a highway, and they're stuck out there in the snow. And this has happened not once or twice, but then people don't have enough food, not enough water. Anytime I go to the coast, I have a loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter with me, if nothing else, because there's so many accidents, and you can be stuck on the highway, no way out, for 3 hours, 4 hours. Now, I came from LA. I know about traffic jams just in downtown LA. I had no idea how, I could not assume that I would get home that night at any time, a decent time. So, excuse me, I have got allergies. This has been the worst year ever. Oh, and one of the things that I think I didn't get it in here is bouillon cubes. Now, on a program on YouTube, they were talking about bouillon cubes, how refreshing those could be. You add those, you need the salt, so you're not worrying about how much salt when you're in this emergency thing. So I went to buy some of the bouillon cubes. They weren't there because I'd gone to the wrong store. I went to like Fred Meyer. And so I thought, I didn't know about the dollar store. And somebody told me, here today, go to the dollar store if you want something like that. I ordered it from Amazon, and they were out of the brand that I wanted. So they sent me something else that it was only okay. So we've got a Bug-Out box here with stuff in it that I have felt like I really needed. We need light, and this one, no batteries in it, is solar, and I have put it under my plant light, and this will, and it works, and it's one of those ones that does the 3 things. It does a light, then it does something else. It does a flashing one. Yeah, there we go. And then it's supposed to, and then this one is brighter, but you can't tell. And then they've got little holes in there where you can plug in your phone to charge it. And whoops, I thought it was off. And stop it. There. I have really enjoyed having this, and I have used it, and I have this guy right here. And you can hang it. This will light up a room, and the light is an LED. It's kind of bright, but if you hang it someplace, it will. That's very good for lighting up. Now, my favorite flashlight is this guy right here, and it's rechargeable. No batteries, just rechargeable. And it also does the 3 things like signal light and that sort of thing that this one did. Now, these are little tea lights. You've all seen these guys. And if you have, and they're so cheap. So if you have enough of them, you can light 4 of them. And if you have some bricks, you take a brick here, and a grill here, and you light 4 of these, and you can actually do some cooking. It does get warm. Headlight. This is essential. And last year they were giving them out, but I didn't see them here this year. And everybody should have one of these guys. And this isn't my best one. I keep a flashlight in every one of my rooms because I never know, even though I live in town, I never know when eWeb's going to turn my lights off because they're doing some sort of work, or somebody runs into the telephone pole and then we don't have lights, or the power pole. So see, this is just a little guy, and but it's okay. The ones that they were giving last year were better. So I included a mirror in the wrong bag. And the mirror, we'll get back to that. So I started at the wrong end. Okay, essential is a first aid kit, and these ran about $30, and this was from AAA, not AA. So anyway, and it's got everything in there that you would need, and I always carry a first aid kit with me, especially to classes because our students are using knives, and sometimes they shouldn't. Some of them shouldn't be using knives. So we also
Stop that.
So I have a bunch of masks, and I like the N95s because in case of smoke or whatever, you do need masks. Now, let me show you this little guy right here. You all know what this is? Any guess? This is a sleeping bag. So they're very cheap. I think they run about $5 each. You don't want to take them out and roll them out to look at them because you're never going to get stuffed back into this bag. But this is a Mylar, and you crawl into it, and this could absolutely save your life because the Mylar reflects your body heat, and this is good down to, I don't know how cold. Colder than we would probably get here in Oregon, but it's just good to have it in your car at all times, just in case of whatever might happen. And the Mylar blankets, they were giving these away, and these are good for if you have a rope and whatever. You can always do a little tent thing after you've crawled into this. It will keep the area around you warm. And then there's the hand warmers, and these are wonderful. I have these guys, which I guess you just smoosh them, as I recall, and they will stay warm for an hour or so. This is good at football games, so I've heard. And I also have one at home that you can plug in and recharge, and it gets extremely warm. I could
Those
probably
usually
make
stay-
a cup of tea with that.
Yeah, those usually will stay good for about 8 hours.
8 hours.
Those hand
Okay, I
warmers.
didn't read it to
Yeah.
see. I haven't had to use it. So. Okay, so if any of you go camping or backpacking, you're probably set. Also, if you go much traveling, you're probably set for everything you need. But for some people, they don't. So they don't go out. So if you're out, find yourself out in the woods, and you need to start a fire, we can do that because we have got all kinds of ways to do it. See, I even carry kindling, matches, waterproof, little waterproof case. All this stuff is cheap, but I did not go out and buy it all at one time. It was just a gradual accumulation. So this is veneer chips and stuff that are good for kindling to get it started. Now, this thing contains, what does it contain? Oh yeah, this is the Vaseline and the cotton that comes off your medicine pills and that sort of thing, and you rub Vaseline over it, and this lights up very quickly. Let me see. Here's one of these fire starters, and I heard that they're kind of slow to get going, but the waterproof matches work much better. In lint, dryer lint, this will go right up. And so it's good to get the fire started. Also, I brought some shredded paper. It'll get the fire started too. And in the worst case scenario, the magnifying glass. Over a piece of paper, over a piece of wood. Pretty soon it'll do it long enough. On a day like this, you can get a fire started with this. And I remember as a kid thinking, oh, this is so cool. Let's go out to the vacant lot and see if we can start a fire. Well, we couldn't. And we tried to keep it under control. Didn't always work. I always carry with me a notebook, because if I'm in an emergency, I might want to leave a note. Also, I might want to keep a journal of what is happening. And what if I die out there? I would like to leave a note telling people what happened, and so they'll know that I didn't have a heart attack. I died of something else. So I always carry ponchos with me, and I never had before, but I was on a trip, and the weather was just like this. Within 10 minutes, it was pouring. It was just a deluge. And I was set. I had the coat, I had the umbrella, I had that. Other people did not have this, and they were walking around with garbage bags. You cut a hole in it, and that's what you're going to do. Fortunately, where we were, there was spring jackets for $1, and so that worked. Now, I always carry cutting stuff. So you've all seen these. These are advertised to cut through a penny. I've never tried it on a penny, but it will cut. It's really strong, and it will cut through a lot of things. And I always carry one of these little mini tools that do magic things. I'm not sure what they do, but they have pliers and that sort of thing. And I carry a pocket knife, and here is this, and this is stainless steel, and it is so sharp. And why would I need something like that? Well, because I've got fishing line, I've got a safety pin, and if I'm out there I might want to catch a fish, if I could. And then you have to take care of the fish before you eat it. So, and this type of knife is something I had always used when I was what's the word? When you remove the innards? Yes, the innards.
Cleaning it out.
What's that?
Cleaning it out.
Yeah, when you clean it. That's right. Okay. So, okay. This is a bandana, and they come in great for, and I also carry gloves, leather gloves, and a hard hat, these type of gloves, but also if you have boots. Oh, I was going to show you that. Boots and where was I going with that? Knee pads. Knee pads are great because in case of an earthquake, you're going to find glass on the floor. And so if you have leather boots, leather gloves, and knee pads, you can probably get through the broken glass or debris or that sort of thing more easily, more safely. This is a love. I haven't used it yet. Big. And I'm going to show you. Come around. This is. I'll just do it right here. Okay. So they teach this. This is the last year that they're teaching this in Russia. Every service guy, and you're required to do 2 years of service if you're living in Russia. So this is the last year that they're teaching it. You have to learn how to wrap your feet. Why do you have to wrap your feet? Because Russia had for many years, they didn't have socks. So, but they had squares of fabric, and I learned this from a Russian guy in Russia. So you put it with the point out like this, and you plant your foot down on this, and you bring this up, and this one over, tuck it. You bring this one over, and you tuck it, and it would look nicer than that. And then you have a little tail that's going to hang out your boots. And the advantage of this is your feet get wet. These dry really quickly. And wool socks also dry fairly quickly, but if you have more than one, a couple of these, they're easier to carry and they're fast to change. So you may have to do some laundry, or on yourself, or on your clothing. So they sell two things here. These little things that are little leaves, and they're soap. And you just take one out and you're gonna wash your hands in the stream or wherever you got water. And these little guys, they look like little pills. Put them in water and they blow up. Well, they don't blow up. They expand, yes, into a fair size, like a washcloth, face cloth. And then there's this product for if you're out camping and you're having to wash clothing or whatever in a sink, in the stream. And it won't pollute the stream. It's more sanitary or whatever. It doesn't contain the phosphates and whatever else they have. And if you get lost, any of you ever been lost out in the forest? It's not fun. I know two people who have been lost overnight in the forest. So you should have a compass. You should have a whistle. And the whistle will just keep blowing the whistle because you might not be able to yell. So blow the whistle, and if they hear you, they're going to say, "Oh, that is so obnoxious. What is that noise?" Maybe they'll come find you. Also, the mirror, like I showed you before. If you flash that mirror, say you are lost, and there, what do you call them? Helicopters flying overhead. If you're flashing the mirror, they may be able to see that, or also with those flashlights. Now, I want to, one last thing. Oh, two last things here. Also, I was talking about the life straw. How many of you have those? They were giving them good. They were giving them away here last year, but I didn't see them this year. And this is what it looks like. Oh, here is what it looks like. I was telling you about the eyedropper, and this is what it looks like. It's in the kids section of the drugstore because kids hate to take medication, so maybe you can help them with that. I don't know. So this is the Life Straw, and you take, yeah, okay, I think I got it right. Anyway, it's just like a straw, and it's got a cap on it. So anyway, and it filters out the yucky stuff. And this is the, you stick this down, and it's got the filter there, and it will, you can drink the water even out of a mud puddle. Now, another thing I've got, which most people, this is a larger version, it's the SteriPen. It works on batteries. And I was using this in countries where they had Giardia in the water, and you don't want to mess with that. And so you just turn this on, and it lights up this blue light, bright blue light. You place it into a glass of water, and you stir it for a minute, which is great. It works fine. But a minute for only one glass of water? So I don't carry this anymore because I've got a couple of the Life Straws, which I find work much better. So that's it. I wanted to tell you about a place in Eugene. And I can't find it. Anyway, we do have one store in Eugene that sells anything you'd ever want for bugging out. And they sell the freeze-dried items. They also sell the, what do they call them, freeze dryers, and they maintain them. They sell anything for it, but I found that they're a little bit more expensive than going to Bi-Mart. Bi-Mart's my go-to place for whatever because I can usually get it cheaper. Now I also carry dental floss and safety pin just in case I find a worm and want to go fishing.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Better yours than mine. So that's it. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
What about like, I guess like toiletries or like toilet paper?
Yes. I always carry the hand wipes, toilet paper, of course. And for sanitation, it's recommended that if you can, if you're at home or someplace where you don't want to be carrying it around unless you have a large car, they have buckets that in which food had been. And I remember we using a pickle bucket because we had no water, we had nothing, and so that was it. That and with kitty litter in it will work.
Oh,
you can also line these with a plastic bag and then dispose of the plastic. In fact, you could take a number of plastic bags, set one inside the other, out of the other, and as used, you would pull it out and dispose of that. There's for nursing homes and for people who are invalids, they have something that's called scrubs, and it already has a type of a kind of a person detergent or whatever for cleaning, and you can use 2 tablespoons of water and it will suds up, and you dry it off. You do not have to rinse. And it's good on your skin, and it does the job. There's probably a whole lot more we could say about sanitation. I always carry SunGuard and what do you call it? The hand sanitizer. Yeah, that because it's good to do always before eating. So.